respected speakers, Prof. Dr. Hassan Haron, a highly esteemed professor from the University Kebangsaan Malaysia, respected Prof. Dr. Ahmad Hafiz Zulkifly, our revered IIUM Deputy Rector, Responsible Research and Innovation. With apologies, Madam Yusrina Abu Bakar, Acting Chief Librarian, Dar Al-Hikmah Library IIUM, fellow colleagues, academics and researchers, IIUM MyRA Section Coordinators, Library Top Management, Senior Management, Head of Units, and team members of Dar Al-Hikmah Library, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning. To gain barakah from our webinar this morning, we begin the session with a recitation of the Kitab Surah Al-Fatihah. Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alamin. Let us all make dua to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to bless our event and hope our session today will be beneficial to all. Ladies and gentlemen, we are broadcasting from the International Islamic University Malaysia, and on behalf of Dar Al-Hikmah Library, we would like to extend our warm welcome and express our thanks to all participants for joining this webinar on MyRA Section C1 Publication and Section E4 Copyright. This webinar is organized by the Dar Al-Hikmah Library IIUM. I am Ahmad Fadzil Ismail and will be the moderator for today's session, inshallah. Moving on, I now have the distinct pleasure of respectfully inviting the distinguished Prof. Dr. Ahmad Hafiz Zulkifly, our Deputy Rector, Responsible Research and Innovation, also Malaysian leading orthopedic surgeon, to deliver his welcoming remarks. Please welcome.
Thank you, Prof. Fadzil. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Respected speaker, Prof. Dr. Hassan Haron, Professor from Faculty of Engineering and Built Environment, UKM. Respected Madam Yusrina Abu Bakar, Acting Chief Librarian, Darul Hikmah Library, IIUM. Respected Heads of Research, Academic Researcher, IIUM MyRA Section Coordinators, Library Top Management, Senior Management, Head of Units and colleagues from Darul Hikmah Library IIUM, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. In the name of Allah, most gracious and merciful, praise be to Allah, the cherisher and sustainer of this world, and blessing be on our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family and his companion. Brothers and sisters, it is a great pleasure for Darul Hikmah Library IIUM to welcome all of you to the webinar on Malaysia Research Assessment, MyRA, Section C1 Publication, and Section E4 Copyrights. Thank you for being with us today. First of all, I would like to express my sincere appreciations to our speaker, Prof. Dr. Hassan Haron, for his willingness to spend his precious time with us today, sharing his knowledge and expertise on matters related to MyRA, specifically in Section C1, the publications, and E4, copyrights, despite his busy and tight schedule. We are very honored to have you here, Prof. May Allah shower you with his blessing and rewards abundantly. Jazakallah. My thanks also to Madam Yusrina Abu Bakar, the Acting Chief Librarian of Darul Hikmah Library, and her team for her leadership and her team's dedicated support, without which today's event will not have been made possible. I would also like to express my appreciations to Prof. Dr. Ahmad Fadzil Ismail from Kulliyyah of Engineering for his time moderating this webinar. Not forgotten, my thanks also to all participants who joined us today for this auspicious session. Brothers and sisters, we are all aware MyRA is an instrument that have been developed by Ministry of Higher Education for local university to self-monitor our achievements in research, development, and commercialization. Even though MyRA assessment has been conducted every year, but there is still an unclear part in its glossary, especially in Section C1 and E4, which are publication and copyright. Hence, it's a great honor for the Hikmah Library to host this webinar, whose objective is to gain insight and enlightenment or deep understanding of both sections among IIUM researchers, specifically section C1 and E4. It is hoped that listening to the expert, our Prof. Hassan is also auditor for MyRA, can give us new insight and clear understanding of required criteria or glossary for section C1 and E4, and thus increase motivations and encourage researchers to publish more in-depth publications and apply for copyright work that meets the MyRA criteria. I hope all of you will enjoy the webinar, and let's pray to Allah that we will gain barakah and benefit by attending this auspicious event. It is the say that we need to get 6 star. Right? So far we only have 5 star, and 6 star is where our target is. For us to get 85 to 90% marks is okay, but we need to have hundreds and 120 marks after this. That is the, although we have increased our marks in MyRA every year, but then it's not something that we cannot do to achieve more than 100 points for MyRA. This is part of the MyRA. And with that note, I end my words with Jazakumullah Khairan Qasira, and I wish all of you a fruitful session. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Prof. Dr. Ahmad Hafiz Zulkifly, for your welcoming remarks. Before we proceed, we hope that all participants can fill in the attendance. The link to the attendance should be made available in the chat box. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our great pleasure to welcome our speaker this morning, Prof. Dr. Hassan Haron, to share his knowledge and insight about Malaysia Research Assessment, or commonly referred to every one of us as MyRA. Prof. Dr. Hassan Haron is one of the eminent professors at the Department of Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering, Faculty of Engineering and Built Environment at the UKM. He was at one time the Deputy Dean for the Research and Innovation of the faculty. He was also the former Director of the Research Management Center at UKM. He is currently leading the UKM Research Cluster for Frontier and Digital Technologies. He is also the head of Cluster for Advanced Technology and Smart Manufacturing. Prof. Dr. Hassan is the Research University Arius Committee member at the Ministry of Higher Education Malaysia. He is MyRA Task Force member as well as an active auditor for the ministry. Prof. Dr. Hassan obtained his Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering from University of Bridgeport, Connecticut, USA, Master of Science in Mechanical Engineering from the University of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He attains his PhD in Manufacturing Engineering from Coventry University, UK. His research interests are in the manufacturing and production engineering, specifically in machining, cutting tools technology, tribology, machinability of difficult to machine materials such as titanium, as well as other various composite materials. He was involved in the wear of cutting tools, sheet formation, and the application of response surface methodology for design experiments. He has published more than 200 peer-reviewed journal articles and conference papers. According to the Elsevier's Corpus Database, Prof. Dr. Hassan has been recognized by more than 3,000 citations with H-index of 26. He has obtained 5 patents and 5 industrial designs. Prof. Dr. Hassan is one of the 22 elite recipients of the year 2021 Top Research Scientist Malaysia, TRSM, awarded by Academy of Science Malaysia in the recognition of his outstanding contribution and achievement in science, technology, innovation, and economy. Along with this session, participants are free to post questions in the chat box at any time during the presentation, and Prof. Dr. Cik Hassan, inshallah, will answer your question. I will also read some of the questions during the Q&A session. And now, without further ado, presenting to you, Prof. Dr. Cik Hassan Cik Haron from the University Kebangsaan Malaysia. The floor is yours, Prof. Dr. Cik Hassan. Please welcome.
Thank you very much, Prof. Fadzil. That was a very a bit over the board bagi saya. Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Fadzil. Lama tak jumpa. It's been a long time that you met. Okay, Prof. Ahmad, Hafiz Zulkifly, Deputy Rector for Research and Innovation, IIUM. Ms. Yusrina, Acting Chief Librarian for IIUM, and the rest of the participants. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will try my very best to share some experience that I have while involving as a task force for MyRA since 2014. Okay, so and also as an auditor for MyRA. Okay, let me share with you my slide. Okay, first of all, the one that I'm sharing with you is the slide from Kementerian Pengajian Tinggi, KPT, whereby this is the one that I, when KPT trained auditor, I'm one of the speakers that give explanation on the section C, which is part of these sections. Okay, my father was there, I think. So this Pindaan 2018, we are currently making some changes, updating. Actually, it's not making it more difficult, but try to improve the instrument. Okay, so for 2020, we started with 2020. After that, due to PKP, then we stopped it. And we are supposed to start again next week, but due to other commitment, KPT postponed it to July or August, something like that. Okay, so this is something that we want to share. This part of measurement. Kementerian Pengajian Tinggi try to measure how much the research that we have done. And what are the output and impact of our research. They have spent so much money, KPT has spent so much money on it. They want to measure the output, they wanted to measure the impact of the research that all the university in Malaysia has been doing. Okay, so this part of it, this is not the most perfect instrument, but we are improving year by year. Like I said, in 2020, we try to improve further our instrument, our glossary, and so on and so forth, so that the government can measure the output of the research and also to measure the impact of the research. Okay, for C1, I'm so sorry that my slide is in Bahasa. So, well, it's almost like because this was given to all the participant, auditor, to be during last time online, I think online. Okay, the first one is A is on the bilangan penerbitan per index, numbers of the index publications. What government trying to measure here is that they wanted to measure how many of the journals that we publish is indexed by somebody. There are 2-3 indexing body that government recognize actually. One is a Scopus, the other one is WOS, the other one is ERA. ERA is Excellent Research Australia, ERA. Okay. However, ERA did not have the database. They have a list of journals. They don't have a proper database. I mean, what I meant by that is that you cannot really check it. You have to go through screen or scroll all the journals in order to get one. Not like Scopus, not like WOS. Okay, but the other indexing body that we Kementerian recognize is that is subhanallah, Malaysia punya.
MyCite.
MyCite, sorry. Dia off pula. Off sikit lah. Due to saya tak berapa sihat, tapi dah janji dah, so saya bagi jugalah. I was tested positive for COVID for 1 week, so tak berapa nak really ni lah. Okay, so alhamdulillah pagi ni when I test it dia jadi negatif lah, alhamdulillah. Okay, so those jadi off sikit, minta maaf. So that's what government trying to do actually. We are trying to measure it. We are not trying to follow the Western world. We are trying to get the best out of our researcher in Malaysia. Actually, that's the whole thing. Okay, and then the second one is bilangan penerbitan dalam pasca sidang, any pasca sidang or proceedings. Okay, proceedings which is being indexed in Scopus, WOS, and also ERA, and also MyCite. So those are the things. The next thing is collaboration in publications. What does it mean here is that we collaborate between national universities in Malaysia, be it private or awam. The other one is how do we collaborate with the other researchers overseas, and also with industry, Those are the key thing here. Why are government why government bother to measure the publication, collaboration of publication between universities and industries and so on and so forth? One of the other reason is government wanted to look at how many publications that our researchers has published is being working together with the industries, with the local industries, be it local industries or international company. The other one is there's another measurement on universities in Malaysia actually. They call it Universitas 21. Okay, that is to look at how much is the collaboration between industries and universities in Malaysia, and also all other countries, There are some 50+ participation countries participate in this particular measurements, but Malaysia is ranked 40+, and every section of it we are almost last. So government was not very happy with that. So because they give so much money, the KPT tried to bring in some industries to join the research and so on and so forth. I know our local industries not like Western world industries. Ours is more on surviving, it's not really a research-based company. So, but government is trying to bring some of the research into our local industry, SMEs, and so on and so forth. Okay, so those are the reasons. So when we look at the journals, we look at this how MyRA Auditor measure it. First, they look at the ID stuff. okay, the ID of the staff, okay, and then they look at the name of journal, year of publication, year of publication. It's not year. It's like if year of publication here, it means that publications you already have the volume number, has already have the page number on it. It's not like it's just impress, not first something like that, that kind of thing. It's already has volume number and also page number. Okay, so because way back into 014 to 013, something like that, some of the university claim that the paper has been accepted. It's already online. The journal is already online. Yes, that is correct, but it hasn't got the page number yet. Previously, we accept it, and then the next year, the same journal is being claimed again by the same universities. So you already double claim for one journal. So that is not correct. Okay, we want to report to KPT something which is correct. Okay, MyRA is the only data from MyRA is the only one which is being audited properly as compared to the rest of the system in KPT so far. Okay, so the only MyRA is being audited properly. So we're not trying to play down on the university or the researcher, that kind of thing. No, we are trying to measure, give the correct numbers to the KPT. KPT will report it to EPU. Okay, then EPU will put it in, monetize all our output and so on and so forth. So that the amount of money that they give to KPT to give a research grant such as FRGS, TRJ, and so on, worthwhile. Okay, so those are the reasons. So the better the output that we got from all the universities, the more money we are supposed to get for our research in Malaysia. So this is the whole purpose. KPT will depend on MyRA data. So so researchers must publish in order to get more money next year, something like that. Okay, so more output, more money can be supposed theoretically, depending on capability of our EPU lah. Okay, so those are the things. So let me share some of it. This is how we do the checking. Okay, let me tunjuk sikit. Nampak? Can you see my laser pointer? Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Prof. So we check your staff ID. Is that correct? Your staff is there. Okay, because some of the universities they put part-time staff. We don't want the part-time staff. We want a full-time staff. Okay, there are some universities. This from my past experience lah. We didn't check the name. We didn't bother with the name because the name is the spelling might be wrong and so on and so forth. The numbers here, staff ID numbers, must be correct. Okay, and then we go against the list that was given by university, the master list, the staff list. Okay, and then we check the master list, and then we go on to the collaboration with the industries, international and national. Okay, this is your publication. Yes, or no, something like that. We check here. First, this is our first checking. The second one, we look at the source title. Is that correct? Are they in the database of the WOS or Scopus or ERA? ERA we didn't check, honestly, because to too big. It's not easy to check it. You have to scroll with your eyes. But WOS and Scopus is easy. You just type in the name of the journal, then you got it. Okay. And then we check, the next thing is we check the year. Is that correct? The same year. Because some just to share with you guys, some universities, they put it in the publication of December previous year, which is, we don't want to have it, because some of it, the publications was indexed late. So we are very unlucky lah for that case. There are a few percent only 1 or 2% only. So not that big. So this is how we do the checking. Okay. After you have to remember, when you fill up this master list, you have to make sure that you put it properly, because some of our local company is not being recognized by Scopus. Okay, the name is not familiar by Scopus, but if international name like IBM or any big company, Scopus easily recognize it. If you search in the Scopus database, they will give automatically whether that particular paper is do have a collaboration with the industries or any international universities. Okay, so when auditor check it, we randomly pick up any of the journals and then we look into it. Okay, but before that, we go to Scopus database. I already mentioned it to you guys. We check in Scopus, we check in the WOS. Okay, the journal. This is how we do it lah. Okay, of course, we didn't do it one by one. I mean, or you have 10,000, 20,000 publications. We didn't do that kind of checking. We just randomly check it. Okay. So we took it, let's say 10% of it or something like that. We do the checking. If the check is okay, then the rest is supposed to be okay for the particular university. Okay. And then we do some checking for the papers. Okay, we look at the affiliation, is that correct? Is that IIUM there? This one is UPM. This one is, I can't remember, UPM also. Okay, so we do the checking, some checking. Okay, so whether the affiliation is there, the year is there, the title of the journal, and so on and so forth. This is how we do it. And then we look at the affiliation, whether there is industrial collaboration or international collaboration. Okay, so those are how we measure it. But that is not the whole purpose of it. The whole purpose of it is we wanted to have our researcher to publish their output. That's it. Our researcher to publish their output in a good journal, not a bogus journal. Okay. Of course, there are some journal which is in the Scopus, which is a bit of bogus again. But try to avoid it. Try to avoid it, because most of the time, that particular journal might be indexed this year, but next year it's being taken out by Scopus already. So many of the cases. Sorry, yeah. Okay. Sekejap, saya ambil air je. Sorry ya. Bawa baik COVID, so masih ada batuk sikit-sikit. Okay. So I want to share with you this particular data. Okay. Look at these tables, the journals. The target for the government is minimum one researcher must publish minimum 2 journals. Minimum. It was 3 here, but so many universities complain about it because we can't achieve even 2 nationally. Our average nationally is not even 2, just 1 point something. The highest was for University Malaya before, 1.98, something like that. So we have decided, the KPT have decided to reduce it to 2 instead of 3 for MyRA 1. But for MyRA 2, they still keep it for 3 publication per year for each researcher. Okay, this is not counted for the one who shared the publication and so on and so forth. This way without sharing, 2 each without sharing. Okay. Benchmark score given for every index journal is 3.465. This is the whole total score. But remember, C1 is always kept 200%. So you can always have double than this mark. Okay. Why 340 here, 3,400? Because I put is anggaran staff active is about 1,700. I don't know how many IIUM have for the staff, active staff. Let's say, assume it's 1,700 here. Okay. So you need 3,400 publication. This is the target. Even at UKM, we were surprised. We were so surprised. PKP bring blessing to us. Bring blessing to us. PKP bring blessing to us because the publication is increased tremendously. 2020, the publication was 3,000 plus. 2021 was so surprised, reaching 4,000. So PKP give a blessing. We need to see that staff working at home or writing more journal papers with the data, previous data they have got. Okay, of course. So those are the target. So each of us has to publish a journal, minimum 2 here. Okay, this is the target. This is the target. Saya pernah ditegur lah. Why we need to publish that many and so on and so forth. This part of kita punya, I don't know, Universiti Awam kita ada tanda tangan bila kita nak jadi pensyarah. Aku janji. Okay. So part of the university KPI is publications, and how many of it is depending on your area. If you're science technology in UKM, you slightly more than social science, But on the general side, but for social science, we do expect books coming out from them. Okay, same thing for conference proceedings. Okay, so benchmark is 0.5. Okay, benchmark is 0.5 for each of the staff. Kalau kita ada 1,700 staff, so we need to have 850 of the conference proceedings, index conference proceedings. There are 2 things here. I just want to share. All this conference proceeding is needed by universities. One is, I'm not obsessed with the QS or ranking, that kind of thing, but that is part of the game nowadays. In QS, they have sort of like, do we know any of the program in our area, anywhere in the world? They do the survey. I always receive the questionnaire and fill up that questionnaire from QS. In your area, which university is the best in the world? In Europe, in Asia. Okay, so, but we cannot fill up our universities. So we cannot fill up our universities. So how do we know that the program is good or not good, and so on and so forth? So one of the other thing is that we met many people or professors in our area, in our own area, when we attend the conference. Okay, of course 2-3 years ni kita tak dapat attend due to PKP, but with that, people also know about our universities. With that, also people know about our universities. So it is good to attend a good conference whereby all our colleagues in our area attended it, so that they will hopefully they will take our university's name next time in the survey paper for QS or any survey paper. So those are the important thing about the conference paper. The other thing is, conference paper is a good venue for quick testing of our output from our PhD students or master students. Okay, whether our study is correct, in line with the current or trend of research and so on and so forth. Okay, that's one. The next one is we are looking at the joint publications. Joint publication with industries, then also in international and any national universities. UA here is University IIUM, US is University Swasta, or any agency, research institute like MyRA and so on and so forth. With the industry, we are expecting about 30% of it. Okay, with the international, it's about 1-to-1. Kalau kita ada 1,700, then we wanted to have 1,700 collaborations. And of course, we are other universities and national agencies. It's also 1-to-1. If you look at here, the maximum mark is getting smaller and smaller. The maximum mark is getting smaller and smaller. Okay, but do remember that the journal that we already give mark here for the journal, but if you have this collaboration, there is an additional mark to it. It is an additional mark to it. So it's not like myself, when I publish paper with my student coming from Indonesia ke daripada Arab countries ke, I ask them to put their own university's name back home, because they are being sponsored by their universities to come to do research here, or the agencies. So, and also they have to put 2 addresses for them. One affiliation from our university here, the other affiliation is their previous, their current employer back home. So we got 2 things there. One is marked for here, journal. The other one is marked for international collaboration. Okay, so of course we do the collaboration because they are being sponsored by the agencies. Okay, it's not just we didn't. The thing is, we probably did not have MOA or MU, that kind of thing. Some of that, but there's some joint collaboration. So do like my student coming from UIA, FU, or them from UIA, from manufacturing department. 3 orang saya ada kat situ, 3-4 orang. So we let them, I let them put their name, UIA name there. One of the address UIA, the other address is as a research students at the UKM. So by doing that, you have those you can capture the mark. You can capture the mark. This is one of the strategy that UKM employed lah, UKM employed, just to share. Okay, some, of course, some university did not allow the student to put their employer address, but that is okay. If they did not allow it, it's okay. But for UKM, we allow it, and then we encourage them to do that. Okay, we encourage them to do that. Okay, this is how you generate the mark. This is how you generate the mark. With one journal, you can have mark here. You can have also mark over here. So, and also in MyCite, so MyCite, same thing, same thing. Okay, that is the publication. This section is on the impact. Is the impact part of it is a citation. The other one is the Q1, Q2 is not covered for MyRA 1, is in MyRA 2, whereby for those in RU, 70% of their publication must be coming from Q1 and Q2. 70%, that's the benchmark. Okay, so most of the university did not achieve it so far, but they are improving from 30+% to now is 50+%. Okay, the highest ones, of course, lah, University Malaya, they are achieving more than 50%, 51%, something like that. Taraf University about 40%. Okay. Okay, so let me go into details. When we do the checking for citation, we look at the publication is the last 5 years. Pastikan ia dalam tempoh 5 tahun terakhir bagi 5 tahun penerbitan. This is how we do the citation checking. And then after that, we total up. Let's say citation for 2021. We do the checking for citation for 2021, 2020, 2019, 2018, and 2017. And we total up. Okay, we total up. Of course, citation is a bit tricky here because there's citation for Scopus database, there's citation for WAS database. Sorry ya, ada neighbor saya mesej bumbu pula, bising sikit. A citation for Google Scholar. Those papers are in era that did not have the citation report. Then we have to look into the Google Scholar. That is the best. Scopus database mainly we refer to, except some of the journal which is did not have in the Scopus but only in WS. Then we look into the WS citation. Okay, so we add up all them together. We add up all of them together, then we get the citation. Okay, this is for MyRA 2, so saya tak skip this one lah. Yeah, I'll skip this one. And this is how we do the checking for journal lah. Of course, some of the journal is paid journal, but we cannot run away from that. We did not encourage, government did not encourage our researcher to publish in a paid journal. We encourage them to publish in free publication, publish in journal. But if they want to publish in the paid journal, it's up to the university policy to do. Sekejap, saya off. Saya tutup tingkat rumah saya sekejap. Wah, masih kuat lagi ya, sorry lah. Tiba-tiba je rajin hari ni, dia masih rumput. Okay. Hopefully boleh dengar. Okay, so those are the things that we do the checking for Q1, Q2, and so on. And for MyCite, we do the checking. MyCite is okay. Sorry to say lah. Government try to popularkan MyCite by putting the any index journal in MyCite. We count it. Okay. If that particular journal is already in Scopus or WS and still in MyCite, then we count it double. Don't worry about that. The major problem is MyCite is very slow in updating their website. That's the major hurdle for us. Okay, we have a talk with MyCite people, KPT. I was involved dalam talk tu. So we requested them to really update their website. Not every week lah, macam tu lah. Kalau tidak every week or every month. Okay, so that so that all the journals that is registered with the MyCite is there. But some still tak lagi. So we are trying to improve it lah. Hopefully MyCite improve better lah, year to year. Okay. That is on the MyCite. We are trying to popularize MyCite. What is the role of the universities? I don't know which department in the universities, but if in UKM, our pejabat penerbit, we ask them to register all the journal which is published by our universities in MyCite. All the journal must register with MyCite. And nowadays, in order for you to get index in Scopus also, you have to get index first in your national body first. MyCite. That's one of the requirements, if I'm not mistaken, by Scopus, the new one. Okay. So that is the role of the publisher to register their journal in MyCite. Okay, so we have to do that. In order to capture all the journals. Okay, what are the benchmark? The benchmark is for MyRA 1 is only 10,000. I do believe UIA have already achieved it. Okay, but some small universities did not achieve it yet in Malaysia. Okay, the big cumulative universities already achieved it. UIA achieved it, a big university lah. Some technical universities, yang MTON, Malaysia Technical University Network, so they achieved it. But some small university did not achieve it yet. Okay, so our target is we will review these numbers. Hopefully, these numbers will increase lah. Tak nak lagi 10,000, too small. Where do we got these numbers? 10,000. Where does these numbers come? I mean, 10,000. Out of the boost, tiba-tiba 10,000. Why? Okay, this is the reason. For RU, the total citation is 100,000. 100,000 benchmark for RUs. Okay, again, where does these numbers come from? Actually, what KPT or task force did was last time, where we put the numbers, we look at the citation, total citation for good universities in the world. We look at MIT, we look at Stanford, we look at Cambridge, we look at them. They do have the citation like these 5 years community citations. Some of it not less than 300,000, and then so far, and I look at it's about not more than 500,000 per year. So we say, okay, we took the average of it, say 400,000 for that. So if quarter of it, you wanted to achieve national international level status, so quarter of it. So it is that's why the numbers come 100,000 for RU. But for other universities, we say, okay, 10% of it, 10% of the RU. Okay. These numbers came in 5 years back, more than 5 years back, 6 years back. So it's time due, I think, for us to change it. And because kalau RU, majority dah achieve 100,000. So it's no point for us to put a benchmark that everybody is achieved already. So we will increase it, maybe 200,000 for RU, and for non-RU, probably, I don't know, some 10% of it, so 20,000, something like that. Okay, so those are the target. Those are how we got the numbers. Those are the target, and those are how we got the KPT. Look at how KPT got the numbers. We have some reference to put this particular value here. Okay, so the mark here is 4.62. Again, it's capped for 200%, so it can go to 9, double of this. The next one is, I skipped this Q1, Q2 here. Okay, number of publication in MyCite journal. Again, it's about 50% of our staff numbers. Okay, it's 1,700, then 850. This is the target. 50% must publish. 50% of the journal of the staff, not journal, of the staff should publish in the MyCite journal, minimum requirement. Okay, so if your journal is not being indexed by MyCite, please register with MyCite. Okay, and books. This is for books starting 2018. We are looking at different. Before this, we said buku yang dipublish oleh publisher yang terkenal, tersohor. Now we change slightly. Books is being published by, and the books is being indexed. The book also should be indexed. Okay, because when we say published by publisher tersohor, some of us publish in overseas publisher, which is not known actually, tapi they claim that the publisher is well known. Okay, some the publisher tu kami check juga, saya ditugaskan untuk ini, so saya carilah publisher tu. One of the publisher tu, saya tak nak sebut nama, one of them, bila look at address, of course kita masukkan Google, kamera apa semua bla bla bla, kita tengok alamat tu kat bawah tu is corner shop, kat atas tu tingkat 1 is the publisher punya alamat. Of course lah, address dia, bandar dia dekat Cambridge, so you nampak, oh Cambridge, so terus publish. Tapi bukan yang University Cambridge yang publish. Itu that's the point. So kita kata tak, we cannot accept that, because it's not logic lah. A good publisher have an address of dekat atas corner lot punya kedai dekat Cambridge. Okay, so that's why we change slightly 2018 to index books. Of course, we give a mark for index, we give also marks for non-index. Okay, so this how we do the checking lah. Index mainly we look at WS and also Scopus lah. Same thing, kalau you ada book, so you ada co-author dengan industri ke apa semua, we count this. Okay, count this. And who is the publisher? Okay, publisher. Our all the local university punya publisher house, we do accept it as a good publishing house. Okay, so don't worry about that. So your pejabat penerbit has to work more in order to publish more books. UKM, we target to publish books about 300 per year. So far, not very far away lah. We got about 200. Tapi the job of the sidang pengarang UKM very tough lah, very tough. We meet every month, sometimes twice a month. I'm one of the sidang pengarang UKM, so wow, it's tough job lah. Dan kita kena hantar buku tu untuk di-review. We have to send it for review process, and then we, of course lah, kita kejar reviewer, please submit your review for our books faster and so on and so forth. So it's tough job, okay, and tough job for pengarang also, because they have to do the correction and so on and so forth. Okay. So this is part of it lah, part of the job of me. Publisher house to move very fast, and our university give money in order to publish books. Involve a lot of money, need a lot of money. So I'm happy that at UKM the management gives about 1 million, 1 or 2 million a year to publish a book. Okay. So this how we do the checking lah. Kalau dia tu is corpus based ni, we do the checking, books dan senarai dia, so on so forth. We check hard copy some of it. Betul tak CRC punya press ke Spring Year punya press, when the book is being published and so on. Is it it's a research book or not research book, something like that. Must be a research book. Must be a research book. This one is the one which is accepted. Of course, the way we do is checking, same thing for non-index books also. Index and non-index, same thing. Okay, this is non-index, locally published by our Scholar Press is questionable actually. Scholar Press is questionable. I don't know. It's not that good sometimes. We look at some of the like in-tech publications. We receive a lot of email from them. To publish with them. For some of the publisher house overseas, the KPT, Task Force KPT have tested it. We send books which is not properly edited. We send to some of the publishing house overseas, and they just publish just like that. So it shows that they said they will be sending it to the referee, and the referee say publish as is and so on and so forth. So we say, okay, thank you very much. So it shows that some of the publishing house, even though coming from UK or Europe or US, they are not doing the proper checking lah. They are not doing the proper checking. Our university do more proper checking, editing process and so on and so forth. Okay, some of these not doing a good job lah. Itu saja.
Yeah. Thank you, Prof. So apa ni, publisher by our own Prof, not the faculty or the university publisher, macam mana?
Oh no, we cannot accept it, because the publishing house is not. We will look at the publishing house juga, publish punya name. Okay, we can publish apa, kita katalah jabatan ke fakulti ke publish it, but they are not the publishing house, proper publishing house. Okay.
E-books macam mana, Prof?
E-book kita accept.
Okay.
Kita accept e-book. But publisher must be a good publisher lah macam tadi. So this is some of it lah, KBSM, apa buku, semua kita tak, textbook kita tak terima lah. This the one yang tak boleh diterima sebab yes, the book is good, satu hari satu hadis is good, it's good book, good reading book, but who publish it? Sometimes publisher tu tak bagus, tak do the proper editing job. Okay, kita tengok the process. Just share with you guys. Satu international publishing house ni, they claim good tadi tu, the researcher claims a good one. You can imagine dia punya 2 weeks, 10 days ke gitulah, katalah 2 weeks daripada draft manuscript being sent to the publishing house, 2 weeks after that publish. Macam wow. So something is not correct lah for us. Within 2 weeks, 400 pages books, or 300 pages book or something like that, dah publish. Wow, saya kata. So we do kita check dia punya website lah, kita check dia punya website apa semua, those as yang kata yang bagus tadi tu. Tapi rupanya tak logik lah, because we ask our publisher or the university punya publisher, 2 weeks boleh publish satu buku tak? Oh no way, dia kata, because you have to send it to the referee, and the referee have to give feedback, there must be some correction need to be done, dan kita do the checking again. So those process tak impossible within 2 weeks. So that's one of the yang kata tadi tu, publisher yang international punya publisher, 2 weeks dia boleh publish. Kita tak kisah di mana publisher tu, locally ke mana ke, tapi as long as a good publishing house, meaning to say they have a proper, who's the editor dia, siapa, kita nak tengok referee dia macam mana dan sebagainya, referee proses dia macam mana. Okay, itu yang kita look at. Okay, and then we don't want a textbook, that's all. We don't want a textbook. Kalau textbook kita tak terima lah. Okay.
Prof, kalau books for public consumption macam mana, Prof?
What does it mean by public consumption?
Saya pun tertanya juga lah tu, for public consumption, a guideline ke macam mana, Prof? Boleh?
Kita nak research any research book. Kita tak nak yang macam textbook tu kita tak terima lah. Macam textbook lepas tu macam buku yang ada banyak buku yang not related to research. We have to remember here, research meaning that research, let's say myself, I'm engineering, tiba-tiba saya publish buku pasal puisi bahasa Melayu. So that is not correct lah. So in your own area, if you publish book in poem ke apa ke, but your area is that area, then it's okay. macam tadi buku satu hadis tu, satu hari satu hadis tu, it's a good book. Apa research yang you buat dalam nak keluarkan? Setakat you petik daripada buku lain dan letak hadis itu, dah tak ada ulasan research yang dah buat dan sebagainya tu, itu yang kita tak terima. Okay. Kalau buku macam bahasa Arab, ini yang banyak yang inilah yang biasa di ni kan, nahwu bahasa Arab, dia punya balaghah dia. Okay. So kita kata no, what is the research? If your area is there and you have done the research on it, that's okay. Prove that you have a research grant on it, that you have done the research on it. Or you, kalau tak ada grant pun, you apa research yang you buat on it? It's not that.
Prof, kalau tak ada grant, but it is our master student punya findings or PhD student findings counted kan, Prof? Because those are research.
Yeah. That is how you prove it lah. Itu yang point saya nak cuba dapatkan tadi tu. You have to prove that it's research is going on before you publish that particular book. Because MyRA is on research. Kita tak count benda yang tak ada kaitan dengan research. Itu kadang-kadang orang komplain. Kenapa itu, kenapa ini. Tak, kita count on research sahaja. Kita measure research sahaja. Any research output. Itu yang kita measure. We do, macam saya jadi auditor, bahagian buku ni, yang most of the time kalau your area is English and then you publish buku English, okay, with the research statement, proof that ada research, then we accept it. Saya selalu accept it. No worry about it. Kalau sains pun kalau tak ada research, saya reject it. Okay, kalau sains pun kalau tak ada research, engineering lah, tak ada research, tiba-tiba you buat pasal manufacturing process books, saya kata no, this is textbooks, macam buku sejarah, saya kata there's no new thing in there. Okay, so those are the criteria. Is there any research before you publish a book? Itu yang kita nak tengok. Be index ataupun tak index buku tu. Publish lah, jangan tak publish. Kita dekat, kalau saya dekat UKM ni, kita macam request, memang saya dah dulu masa dekat RMC dulu, memang berbuih-buih lah kita minta mereka publish. Okay. Sekarang ni publisher publish kita ialah Datin Uzi. So she's doing really excellent work lah. Asia dia boleh publish 200 berapa wujud buku dah. Kita tak publish.
Ada dua interesting question, Prof.
Yeah.
Some of my colleagues memang feel dia tu literature and dia write novels and have it copyrighted. Can it be counted, Prof? Kalau memang feel dia literature and dia wrote novels.
Boleh?
Boleh ya, sebab
boleh.
Based on dia punya feel ya, Prof.
Yes, your area.
And satu lagi tu, Prof, kalau research book yang dah translated, actually count sekali lagi ke, Prof?
No, not translate the book, no.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Prof.
If that would your original work, cuma you translate ke dalam bahasa Inggeris, it's okay. Your own work. Kata previous you publish, okay dah. Tapi once you dah count once, dan tak boleh count lagi dah lah. Yang translated tadi tu, okay. Ada juga orang yang translate buku daripada bahasa lain ke bahasa Inggeris. Itu pun kita tak boleh terima. Translation, because translation is it's not your work. You just translate sahaja. Kita nak tengok your original work. Macam buku tadi, macam novel ke apa sama itu, there must be some research. Kenapa? Itu kita nak tengok that things yang kita nak tengok. Okay, saya cuba ni book chapter same thing ya. Chapter pun same thing. Kita look at scopus lah. Most of the time kita look at scopus because kalau kita tengok WS tak banyak. Buku yang daripada Malaysia yang index by WS tak banyak. A few saja. The first publisher ya yang index dekat WS daripada UKM. Okay, masa tu Datuk Ruslan. He has done a tremendous job lah untuk UKM, untuk indekskan buku-buku yang dipublish oleh UKM punya press ke dalam WOS. Okay, this is contoh yang boleh diambil kira dia publish macam mana dan sebagainya. Yang diambilkan, this is one non-edited book. Any good publishing house kita terima lah. Okay. Ada proses dia. Apa yang kita tak tengok nama, kita tengok the process. The process has been done correctly. Okay. Submission dan berapa lama. Yang tak logik tadi tu, kita tak terima tadi tu because bila proses dalam 2 minggu sebiji buku boleh selesai. That's not logic lah. Okay. The next one is sama juga yang index, non-index and index, same thing. The way we do the checking sama. Okay. So contoh yang kira macam ni lah, yang UTM recentral in the power system planning and design. Okay, so this is a few books lah yang tak index, tapi is counted. Tapi make sure lah you publish it properly lah. Do not, kita tak nak lah kita main publish saja, kita nak ada quality jugalah. So ada some university they play with these games, kita tak. Ni the whole purpose of MyRA is kita tak nak the numbers, kita nak the quality. Buku yang keluar tu is a good quality book. Boleh digunakan oleh other researcher untuk refer, something like that. Okay, then this last one is technical report. Okay, originally technical report is meant for, kenapa kita tambah? This is new, kita tambah technical report ni. Previously, all this publication on the technical report apa semua ni kita letak dalam other publication, which is markah rendah lah, kesian. And the medical group came back. They complain, the medical group complain. They banyak publish farmasisnya apa semua itu, what I mean by medical group. They banyak publish they publish technical report rather than full journal paper, some of them. So kita kata okay, if the report is being published not by organizer, okay, then kita accept. See? So those siapa yang publish it, who's publishing that, the organizer that ask you to publish it, then kita terima. Contoh, you do the consultation job, okay, then being published by that particular ni lah, macam contoh yang dia beri kat sini, Sirim yang publish, Malaysian Smelting Corporation yang publish, those kind of thing, technical report. Kita buat report untuk Sirim, dia publish. We do the report for any the company ke apa semua, dia publish it. Dan kita accept it. Okay. Kalau kita sendiri publish, kita tak accept. You buat the report, lepas tu you sendiri publish. No. But if your consultation arm of your university yang publish it for that particular ni, then okay. It's not you yourself yang publish. It's got to be satu consultation department of your university yang publish it, the report for that. Kata you do a report for DOE, Department of Environment, then kita accept it. Untuk report untuk majlis daerah Gombak, kita accept. This some of it lah yang Sirim punya standard, siapa-siapa yang involved dalam reporting this ni. Okay, so I go to dia punya ni, markahan dia. Okay. Sorry ya, suara saya slow sikit ya. Tak ada cakap kuat je batuk. Buku index, same thing. We need only 10% only. 10%. Markah dia tinggi. 10%. Books. Yang not index so only 10%. Okay. So markah yang not index itu tak besar lah, tapi yang index itu besar sedikit, almost 1. The next one is chapter in book which is index, the mark is slightly higher. Chapter in book not index, the mark is slightly lower, but 30%. We are expecting 30% of your staff, 30% of your of the number of staff do it. Okay, so that's why we got this number here, 510 and juga 170. See, books benchmark is only 10% of the staff. Kalau macam I don't know UIA, but kalau UKM, our social science humanities staff is about 700. Okay, about 700. Okay, so kalau kita kata berapa persen daripada 700 to publish a book, then you can easily achieve the numbers. Okay, for UKM so far, a few years back, we achieved this. This achieved 1700. There is active staff in UKM actually. I'm working on UKM punya numbers lah. So kita achieve only 200 plus books Yang bawah lah. Yang index tak sampai. Index berapa je. Okay, this small. But we are moving now, starting this year. We are publishing index books more than the non-index books. Okay, we put budget here more as compared to here. Here dah we achieve 200 lebih. So di sini kita baru achieve berapa puluh saja. Okay, so we are moving from non-index to index books. Okay, that's the next one. Same thing for chapters in books also. And for technical case studies, the technical report ni, we expecting about 20%. Okay, 20%. So UIA has medical schools. You have good numbers. Okay, you have a medical school, you have pharmacies and so on. Okay, dekat Kuantan tu, and then your deputy vice chancellor, your deputy rector also coming from medical base. So should be ni lah, should be technical report ni should be, or case study ni should be easy to get lah, easy to get. Okay, easy to achieve as compared to macam UTM, Technical University, so it's not easy for them to get. But they also have it because they have a consultation job on the technical side, engineering side. So they are actually UTM fulfill this, UTM fulfill this. Surprise. Index pun so dia banyak, tapi tak sebanyak ni lah. Index pun dia banyak. I'm so proud lah, I'm so happy lah. Kalau UTM today index book ni lead by dia punya number 1. Vice Chancellor dia Datuk Fadzil sendiri publish every year, dia publish index book dengan publisher dia is subhanallah. Yang publish Scopus base nya ni tu. Lupa dah pula. Gambar pokok lah, lupa dah. Subhanallah, lupa juga. Tak apa. So we have to publish. Kalau kita tak boleh publish journal, kita publish books. Kalau tak boleh publish book, we publish chapters in book. So you ask me, which one is better, to publish a book or to publish chapters in book? Both is bagus for me. If you publish books, one books you need about markah dia untuk satu buku ni sebab 0.0004 something like that. One book 0.13 divided by 170. But if chapters in book, you have to look at probably 5 chapters baru satu buku. So kalau satu chapters you need, markah dia is very small. So but you have to remember requirement here. If you want to publish a book, all the authors, let's say you publish what do you call it? This one, edited books. If you publish an edited books, all the authors must coming from UIA. Then you can call a book. If one of the chapters does not belong to UIAM, then you cannot call it a book. Then you must count in the chapters in book or the chapters. There are pro and con to it. Okay, there are pro and con to it. But if you have 10 chapters, then you are losing if you count in the chapters in book. Okay, but if you have only 5-6 chapters, that's okay. So whenever you want to publish a book, make sure every chapter of it belong to UIAM. If you publish edited book, if you publish original book, that's okay. There must be one coming from your university lah. Let's say you share the author is one from UIA, one from UKM. Both university can claim. Don't worry about that. But who publish it? Who publish it? If UIA publish it, then UIA boleh claim the IPR. If UKM publish it, UKM boleh claim dia punya IPR. Okay, so that's one book. You can have 2 marks. One is IPR, the other one is books. Okay, so whoever publish it. Okay, policy paper. I'll go faster this one. Policy paper and line penerbitan. This journal tidak berindex. You see, do not publish a journal which is not being indexed. Please, please, please. You are wasting your time and wasting the money, wasting your research paper. Okay, we put journal tidak berindex here now. Line penerbitan. This is very low. This is very low. Please publish as minimum is MyCite journal, index journal lah. Okay. So why KPT put journal tidak berindex here? Because we are trying to get away with this kind of publication lah yang tak bagus. We assume that journal tak berindex ni kurang baik lah, itu je. Okay. So publish policy paper. Policy paper, again, this is publication section. So that policy must be published. If it's not published yet, then you cannot count yet until it is being published. Okay. So again, do the checking, same thing. Then we look at which level is the policy. Okay. We accept at national level and also state level only, not at the majlis daerah, apa semua tak. We only accept at the university level, at the federal level, and also at the state level only. The policy, for example, tourism policy for Negeri Sembilan, then we accept. But if tourism policy for Gombak, no, we do not accept it. Many lecturer publish tourism policy for macam-macam daerah dia buat. So kita kata no, we cannot accept for daerah too small. We want to have the policy which is being implemented by state level minimum and also national level. Okay. Other than that, kalau internet, of course, kalau United Nations apa semua tu kita accept lah. Okay. Contoh kata polisi yang diterima. Okay. So dia ada acknowledgement. Siapa yang dia acknowledge? Your name is there or your university name is there. Minimum. Okay, this is how we do the checking and when is that particular policy is being published. Okay, I'll give some examples lah. Some people say policy itu dah digunakan. No, bukan digunakan, diefektifkan. Okay, it's not being used. So I give some example. Our national automotive punya policy. National Automotive Policy kan, long time ago lah, few years back. Tapi dia dah gazetted, but it's not being used yet. Kalau tak, kereta yang umur 15 tahun dah tak boleh hadir, dah tak jalan dah dekat Malaysia ni. Kereta yang lebih daripada 15 tahun tak boleh hadir dah tak jalan. That's our national automotive policy. Benda tu dah ada tapi tak diimplemented lagi. Tapi dah diterima pakai. Maksudnya dia diterima pakai oleh kementerian. Okay, so those are the things. It's not necessarily benda tu dah diguna, okay, tapi dah diterima oleh stakeholders yang memegangnya tu. Dasar perubahan iklim negara contoh. Siapa yang buat? Okay, who involved with it? Okay, when is dia punya ni? Banyaklah yang involved. So, contoh, this one lah, contoh, dia plan ni dibuat bersama dengan UKM. Of course, ramai lagi yang involved. So, kita carilah list. If one of our staff, dan kita terima lah. Especially yang banyak yang miss last time around is national pendidikan, yang pendidikan polisi. Semua universiti involved, tapi banyak universiti yang tak claim sebab dia punya pensyarat tak bagi information. Sometimes pencerahan dapat lantikan, tapi dia tak inform kepada universities. Rugilah. Okay. But this one is not. Index, prioritism punya index. No. Just an index. Dia tak. It's not the policy. Mungkin sebagai satu rujukan sahaja. Kalau you did not do it, then it's okay. Ke policy ni you must do it. Because policy dirumuskan di parlimen. Akta dia. Macam ni, draft. Baru draft tak boleh terima lagi lah. Until dia ubah jadi satu plan transformasi. Okay. And then other publication ni kita tengok your name dan semualah. Dan kalau you publish dalam newspaper, make sure the writer is you yourself, the researcher, bukannya pemberita. Okay, kita terima, the rest kita terima. Anything online ke apa ke, of course lah, kena terbit benda tu. When benda tu terbit, kalau online tu bila benda tu terbit online. Okay, so markah kat sini tak adalah besar sangat. Contohlah ini sebagai contoh, penulisnya dia yang menulis. Policy paper, okay, it's only 10% only policy paper. 10%, tak 1%. Targetnya 1% only. Policy paper of your population, staff. Markah ada besar. Each policy paper marks is even higher than Q1 punya journal by 40 times if I'm not mistaken. Marks there. Okay. So do publish policy papers. So kalau macam UKM, our target is 17 benchmark. We have to have 17 in order to get this much amount of mark lah. Nak lebih lagi, kena lebih lagi lah. Itu dia double, cap 200. Other publication ni semua sekali lah. So kita ambil full lah. Tapi markah dia kecil lah. In order for you to get 0.3 ni, you kena ada 1,700. No, it's not worth it lah. So concentrate on something else which is more marks. Journal, citations, policy papers, books, chapters and books. Do not concentrate on this part. Kalau dah tak boleh langsung, okey lah. Itu je lah. Markah dia 0.0005, 50 kan, baru ada satu kat belakang. Okey. Itu pasal ni. The next one is pasal other IPR ni. Other IPR ni banyak, tapi yang we need to look at for this time around is yang ini saja. E4. Okay. Other IPRs other than patents, commercialized products, technology know-how dan juga books declared in section C. Kalau books dah declare section C, tak boleh declare dekat sini. So, sorry saya sebut silap tadi ya. Okay, so markah kat sini kita ambil 5% daripada you punya total populations. Mark yang diberi 1. Other IP ni copyright, trademark, because sekejap ya. Pihak kementerian look at, we are looking more on the patent actually. So that bila something which is being patented, hopefully dia boleh jual after that, commercialize the product. But if you have other than that, kita masih terima copyrightnya, trademarknya, industrial design dan sebagainya. So those are ni, kita tak nak lah you copyright anything that, because copyright ni you can do anything. You boleh satu dot pun you boleh copyright kan. You bayar RM50 kat MyRA, then you can copyright a dot. You tukar apa dot tu sengit ke besar sikit ke apa ke, you can copyright lagi. Lepas tu you buat lain sikit lagi, you boleh copyright lagi. Okay. Those are copyright. Kita tak nak that kind of copyright. Okay. Apa we look at here is that all this IPR ini come out from research. If there's no research, then kita reject juga. Okay, kita look at the research, your studies. Okay, contoh if you are in arts, you punya lukisan. Okay, we assume that is part of your work. So that is okay. But kalau yang macam tadi, ada juga some university they submitted an abstract that they publish dalam being copyrighted. No, we do not accept it. An abstract tu sebagai copyright articles lah. So must be some research for that before ni. Satu setakat abstract tu you boleh publish abstract. Tak logik lah. Bayar RM50 untuk dapatkan satu copyright abstract. Okay, so those are the things. So try to do something yang lebih ni lah. Itu yang saya boleh share setakat ini. Minta maaf. Okay, saya go to ni to chat room ni. If research books, case studies with many chapters in there. Okay. Dah bubar dah. Okay. Mana dah tadi? Okay. Yang last kali dah dulu. If we have completed research report, the research grant, how is, okay. Research report ni, kita kalau yang normal macam you buat untuk apa FRGS, TRGS tu, kita tak count as the technical report lah. Research report itu kita nak yang this is the thing is, apa yang kita buat when we put the section technical report and also the case studies punya report tadi tu, we are looking at you are working with industries, not the research report yang kita buat tu. No. Okay, kalau tak macam tu, banyaklah. Okay, yang kita nak is the technical report that you are working with industries, macam pharmacies, they do case studies report for testing ke apa ke, kita terima. Okay, next one saya pergi. Okay, case studies tadi tu. Doctor is the same university. Can we count intersection? No, just one section sahaja you boleh count. If you count the research books, just research books. You do the edited work. Yeah. You tak boleh lagi count dalam chapters ni, book, apa semua dah tak boleh. If you want to count as a research book, then research book. Okay. But by the way, if you submitted, let's say, semua article to chapters to coming from the same universities, then the panel akan letak dia sebagai research book. Kita tak akan letak dalam chapters in book. Okay, so it's not easy lah. You can get away jugalah kalau panel tu akan tengok. And most of the time, section C ni, saya jadi panel lah. Saya, Prof Fadzil, Prof Amirus, 3 orang sahaja. Ataupun Prof Hisham Lee, UTM. Yang quite well versed lah pasal benda ni. Okay. Should creative writing like novels be indexed in order to be counted? It's already counted. Kalau creative writing tu pun dah counted. Novels pun, tapi ada yang di index, ada tak di index. So sama macam benda lain jugalah. If books yang tak di index, kalau yang di index, So it's up to your publisher untuk index atau tak index you punya output tadi tu. Both is being counted. Of course, yang index carry more mark, yang tak index carry less sikit marks lah. Okay. Saya boleh.
Itu, Prof. Any different marks given for local and international publisher? So
Tak ada.
markah
Sama. So you jangan ingat bagi yang overseas tu dapat markah tinggi, tak. Unless you akan dapat extra mark kalau you join publish dengan orang, your author tadi, co-author tadi tu, orang daripada international. So you akan dapat ada collaboration tadi tu. So itu you dapat extra mark kat situ. Kalau you publish kat UIA pun, tapi author tu datang daripada luar daripada Malaysia, luar daripada UIA, luar Malaysia lah. So you dapat mark juga, walaupun publish dekat local.
Okay, to recap, Prof, tadi kami academics can publish book without research grant as long as dia encompassing research element, right, Prof? Betul?
Ya, itu betul. Tapi itu quite risky lah. Quite risky kalau saya.
Because in our case, walaupun without our research grant, we still have master and PhD student, Prof. I mean, they have research grant. Basically, they are funded lah. Sama ada, their own organization. On another note, Prof, katalah saya lecturer yang conducted interviews dekat ministry ataupun public. When I publish the books, insyaAllah the book can also be counted, right?
Ya. Boleh. Tapi itulah, biarlah research in our area.
Okay.
Tak naklah kita, contoh kita engineering, tiba-tiba kita nak pergi buat study pasal sekarang ni kan bahasa Melayu hot issue sekarang kan, agak hot juga. Tiba-tiba nak pergi publish pasal bahasa Melayu, tak kena lah, tak apa-apa kena lah.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Prof. Dr. Hassan, for your presentation. It has been very informative and interesting sharing. Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, we still have time for question and answer session. We do welcome any more questions. More questions. Prof, saya sendiri ada soalan ni, Prof. Tadi earlier you mentioned pasal all this collaboration. Does that applies to proceeding as well, or it only journal and books only, Prof?
No, proceedings also. Proceedings also, same thing. So in fact, most of the time kita publish awalan ni kita publish on the proceedings. Let's say kita send to conference paper, then they publish in proceeding dulu kan. So that's counted also. So do plan our publishing punya route lah. Nak pergi ke proceeding okay, no problem. Bukan saja jurnal.
Okay, good. Thank you, Prof. I think that's very enlightening, because I think from the gist like you were sharing with us, it's all about us to be able to identify the quality. Just like you shared, if we have some research output, we want to publish in so-called index journal. So we need to scroll down where we should be publishing in this case. Like on this note as well, we have let's say Web of Science, they have tier 1, tier Q1, Q1, Q2, and in fact, if we are using Scopus, they have specific site score, and at Schemago they have the different recognition. Betul kan, Prof kan? So
Betul.
it's a matter of strategizing.
Yeah.
Ada satu question, my previous question. If the government agency that warrant the grant, Prof, can the research report be counted? Macam Jabatan Alam Sekitar ke, Prof?
Okay. Siapa yang bagi research grant tersebut?
This agency.
So kalau kita report to kalau if the research grant, then tak sepatutnya di count lah. Katalah kita do the consultation report, technical report ni kita do the consultation work for, contoh kita do the consultation work to Jabatan Alam Sekitar. Dia bayar juga kat kita, tapi dia bayar as a consultant. So we are not bound to we have to give a report to them. Tapi kalau research report ni saya tak nampak kalau kita dapat grant daripada KPT, kita bagi laporan kepada KPT, siapa yang terbitkan? Satu lagi, siapa yang terbitkan? Kalau UKM terbitkan atau UIA yang terbitkan, dan tak count lah. Tapi kalau JAKIM yang terbitkan atau siapa yang terbitkan, itu yang di countnya. Siapa yang terbitkan itu? Bukan kita yang terbit, bukan universiti yang terbitkan.
So kalau the agency yang produce tadi tu, insyaAllah can be count lah.
Yeah, they can be counted. Yes.
There is a question. If there's a question, if tahqiq Arabic book considered as research, I'm not sure.
Apa tahqiq itu apa tu?
Yeah. So that's
saya tak faham apa meaning tahqiq.
Okay. That's okay. So but then okay. Earlier you shared with us some of the checklists to claim under policy or technical writing, so appointment letter as well as acknowledgement with our names on the policy or any official document, right, Prof?
Yes, our name, any appointment letter ke apa ke? Okay, that's inilah yang nak ditengokkan.
Prof, there is a query. Sometimes ada contradiction between our reporting years, because the very same journal cited, indexed by Web of Science and indexed by Scopus. If it's like 2021 and another one is 2022, on this note, we should take which one, or like you said tadi, whatever we do, we can only claim sekali je, tak ci double count.
Dia macam ni, Prof Fadzil. The way I look at it, soalan ni lah. Okay, kalau kita baca soalan ni, dia kata contradict. Saya pun tak faham contradict tu. Sekejap. Sometimes evidence with WS and Scopus contradicts in terms of the year published. No, very rare saya rasa. Tak tahu kalau ada pun. Kalau ada, for full text stated published 2022, but in WS Scopus index 2021. Very rare. Saya tak tahu saya pernah jumpa ke tak ni. Dia indexing tu macam tak logik lah. Kalau dia publish 2022, dah index dah 2021 something like that. Kalau dia publish 2021, index 2022, logik. Okay. Because sometimes publisher house ni dia hantar lambat kepada Scopus ataupun kepada WS untuk diindex dia punya that particular volume tadi tu. So publish 2021, yes, correct. Tetapi dia hantar mungkin dia publish December 2021. Dia hantar Scopus baru index 2022, tapi tak index 2021 that particular journal volume tadi tu. dia lambat hantar. Itu boleh berlaku. Tapi kalau dia dah publish 2022 tapi indeks 2021 tu saya tak berapa tahu lah tu.
Okay.
Saya dah come across lah the articles published in a year earlier, which is katakanlah 2021, tapi dia indeks dalam Scopus 2022. Itu berlaku. Sebab publisher house tadi tu, how frequent dia hantar kepada indexing body tadi tu untuk diindekskan. Kita kena ingat, kalau Xavier dengan Scopus dia satu syarikat. Okay, so cepat dia indeks. Tapi kalau kita publish dengan publisher lain dan kita nak suruh indeks, kita kena submit, baru few months later baru dia accept, barulah dia indeks. Itu berlaku. Saya pun dah come across lah. Especially yang December, November punya yang publish December tu lah yang most of the time. Macam tu berlaku. Kalau ada case lagi tu better lah kalau boleh nampak. Tapi tu saya come across that one. Yang publish in December, next year baru diindekskan.
And Prof, what about kalau lambat sangat ni? I mean, we know that some of our publication tu even 2020 belum index lagi. Kalau kami show evidence that kami tak claim in 2020, but kami claim in 2022, is that allowable, Prof?
Tak juga, sebab kita tengok tahun dipublish.
Okay.
Yours is being published. So unlucky lah kalau artikel kita lambat being published. Itu berlaku. Banyak berlaku macam tadilah. Kalau kita hantar kepada publisher house yang tak berapa bagus lah, dia very slow untuk submitting dia punya full artikel tadi tu kepada indexing body. Sometimes katalah contoh kita conference paper, kita hantar ke conference paper, the organizer tadi tu very slow in submitting to the lambat hantar. So lambatlah dia being index. Itu berlaku. Sometimes berlaku. Okay.
Tadi Prof ada mention on IPR, the aspiration for this copyright IPR ni, one thing I sum it up, it's based on research and it also needs to have element of commercialization, right, Prof? Because this
not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
The whole target is like that. The role of the copyright is to get commercialization. Nah, itu dia punya roh dia lah. The whole thing salah patent ke apa ke kita nak suruh dikomersialiskan. Kita tak nak count numbers saja patent apa semua ni. Kita nak biar yang kita buat tadi itu translated into commercialization. Okay, that's why kalau dalam section yang lain satu lagi tu dia akan ada berapa banyak yang dah commercialize. So ada markah section lain lah, bukan section yang E4 tu, yang previous section. Berapa banyak daripada ni yang dah di patent tadi tu dah dikomersialiskan. Kita nak tengok, itu government nak tengok berapa banyak yang dah dikomersialiskan. Sebab kita patent dah banyak. Kita dah banyak, tapi commercialize itu yang kita kurang. Itu yang ni lah, dan saya just nak share lah. Ini your office ni ya, Fadzil lah, Prof Hafiz. Give some penghargaan kepada mereka yang boleh commercialize. Bagi saya lah, tak semesti kewangan lah, you give some ni macam-macam. Saya tengok dulu yang started benda ni, USM yang started benda ni long time ago, lama lah USM dah buat benda ni. So lepas tu banyak universiti dah buat lah actually. Dia buat yearly punya event untuk bagi kepada the best itu, the best ini dan sebagainya. This is salah satu macam mana nak macam mana kita nak increase kita punya commercialization, increase kita punya publication. Kalau kat UK ni dia panggil malam bitara. Bitara is mean to say that the bestnya akan dapat sijil je, dapatnya duit tak ada pun. Duit tak ada pun, tapi not everything bercounting dengan duit lah, tapi dapat sijil. So mereka akan terasa di sokong lah apa yang dibuat dan sebagainya. Kalau commercialization tu, dia orang dah dapat bahagian mereka dah. Dia akan dapat some percentage, berapa persen, dia punya royalty what not. Tapi kalau jena ke apa ke tu kan, best lah kalau kita buat macam tu. Itu cadangan saya kat UCAM, dia orang buat dah. Saya dekat RMC dulu, we started it and we give out all these things lah. Malam tu macam malam gala punya malam lah kiranya. So big event lah. VC yang bagi tu, Rector yang bagi. Bukan Fadzil yang bagilah. Macam tu. Biar VC yang bagi, Rector yang bagi. Bukan dah kayu.
Kami at IIUM 3 weeks ago pun we had that session as well. Rector Tan Sri Zul himself endowed.
Bagi je tu. That's good lah. Bukan apa kita penyidik ni, kita bukan nak tengok semuanya pasal duit. Kita tengok being recognized, itu saja. Di UK tu banyaklah kita buat dah, banyak benda-benda tu kita buat. Dan kalau ada duit, bagi research grant. Bagi research grant, jangan bagi duit masuk poket. Bagi research grant. Saya bagi contoh lah. Kita tengok siapa top 10 researcher dekat your university. Saya cakap tu, 1 year tu dekat UCAM tu, dia buat macam tu lah. Saya dah turun daripada RMC, lepas tu dia buat macam tu. So kebetulan saya dapat top 10 researcher dekat UCAM. Lepas tu UCAM sponsor student saya seorang, PhD ataupun Masters. So 10 orang ni dia akan dapat grant daripada universiti. Ministry student tadi tu, tuition fees dia di-waive-kan, tak bayar. Lepas tu monthly dia dapat lagi RM2,000 per month ke something like that, macam FRJS kita tu. So kita pun kita rasa ni lah, kita rasa kita dapat tu award. Kita tak dapat award satu sen pun, tapi student kita yang dapat ni. So itulah yang kita nak tengok komitmen daripada management universiti. Itu bagi saya lah. Itu satu cadangan daripada saya, Prof. Fadzil.
Thank you, Prof.
Dan researcher tadi dia pun dalam macam malam gala night tadi tu, dia dapat award lah, CJ lah. Itu sajalah. Ni ada satu soalan ni pasal can a translated work and published by publisher tidak tersebut declared dalam E4? Saya rasa yang translated kita tak terima semua, saya rasa.
Itulah dekat E4 tadi tu. Prof, I mean like you said, like you shared, even adopt pun kami boleh copyright in this case. So there has to be, because under E4 pun it falls under commercialization kan.
Must be a research base. Must be a research base. Kalau translated ni, you didn't do the research, you translate the word saja. So kita tak boleh count jugalah dalam E4. Dia nak count copyright this one. Katalah dia translate buku ni, lepas tu publish. Tapi tidak non publisher lah. Tapi ada copyright lah, of course. Tapi kita tak boleh kira. Sebab it's a translated work, bukan you punya work.
Question, Prof. In my case, saya punya course outline, lecture material yang saya prepared, Prof, because of course I want to copyright it. I mean, I tak nak lah ended up at other institution used as teaching materials pula, Prof. Is that counted under IFO? Can counted under IFO?
Tak. Okay. Benda tu, copyright tu boleh claim, tetapi tak boleh claim dalam MyRA because dia tidak research based. Okay, MyRA is everything based on research, itu saja. You can claim benda tu copyright, betul. You are correct there. Tapi dalam MyRA tak boleh claim because it's not a research based. Note, just a note. Itu beza sebab ramai juga orang complain. Oh, that is copyright. You are correct. That is a copyright. Tapi dia tidak research based. Kalau tidak research based, tak akan count dalam MyRA. MyRA only count research based material only.
Thank you, Prof.
Right.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prof. Dr. Hassan. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to
ask one question.
Okay.
Okay, there's a question by I think Dr. Amida regarding for literature, because last time I already asked the BKPI untuk masukkan this book if let's say they write creative books, for example novel or dialogue, something like that. Is it now counted as under MyRA?
Dia depend on the area.
Okay.
Kalau dia punya research area tu, dan dia ada proof research base, Prof. Dia kena proof research base. Kalau dia tak ada research base, kita tak terima juga. Tapi kalau dia ada research base, kita terima. Contoh saya bagi contoh, dia buat puisi, dia buat research yang puisi Melayu Nusantara. So dia go orang buat research ni, puisi macam mana, yang puisi contohlah puisi Kelantan punya style macam mana, Johor punya dia relatekan dengan ni macam mana dan sebagainya. So those kita akan terima. Tapi kalau dia setakat tulis dia punya puisi, dia tulis baru sendirilah. Okay, apa research dia yang dia buat kat situ? Itu kita akan question kat situ, Prof. So kita tak boleh nak blanket kata okay terima tak terima. Kita nak tengok ada research element tak yang dia buat. Ada kan orang buat study kan puisi, macam-macam puisi lah. So kita tengok daripada situ apa ada researchnya. MyRA is everything pasal research, Prof. Itu je.
Okay, alright. Thank you.
Sebab kita pernah terima yang macam tu. Saya bagi contoh satu lagi. Hasil dia daripada arts punya department dekat universiti mana saya lupa dah. Dia buatlah arts tu saya bagi contoh kata Kedah kan dia ada Kedah kan dia punya design Kedah, baju kurung Kedah tu dia ada pattern dia semua tu. Dan dia do research. Okay, kita tengok dia lukisan saja. Buku dia pasal lukisan baju kurung Kedah. Pattern bunga pada baju kurung Kedah. Dan dia study dah. Tahun ini dah turun berubah ke apa ke. Kita accept that, Prof.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prof. Hassan. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly fill up the attendance and survey form available at the chat. I would like to thank all participants for your support and cooperation in the Q&A as well as attending this webinar. That very much wraps up our session for today. On behalf of Dar Al-Hikmah Library IIUM, Office of Deputy Rector, Responsible Research and Innovation, I would like to thank everyone for joining us in this webinar. Inshallah, the webinar will be made available on the IIUM Library official YouTube channel. Once again, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to respected speaker, Prof. Dr. Hassan, all participants for your presence. More events, inshallah, will be organized in the future. Please do join us in our program. We also would like to apologize for any shortcomings and inconveniences. Hope to meet everyone again. Wish you all a pleasant day and stay safe wherever you are. Syafakallah, Prof. Cik Hassan. Hope you get well very, very soon. Let's end our session today with the recitation of Tasbih Kifarah and Surah Wal-As. With that, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Minta maaf kalau ada shortcoming apa-apa.
Thank you, Prof.
Terima kasih, Prof.
Okay, terima kasih. Okay.
Thank you for sharing. Salam.
Thank you, Prof.
Okay, thank you. Saya leave